Hello, everybody, and welcome to Three Kobolds Gaming, where we play Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And tonight, we continue our Heroes of Absalom campaign. For those of you non-Americans in the chat, this week was a pretty important week for Americans. This past weekend, we had the wonderful celebration of tying England in the World Cup.
Shortly after tying their Welsh cousins.
Wait, that was so good, Will.
So for anyone who posted anywhere online, you Brits out there, we're coming for you, man. It's soccer, not football. But yeah, we also celebrated Thanksgiving. How did everybody's Thanksgiving go?
Amazing.
Delicious.
Wonderfully. I saw Ben.
I'm gonna do the wonderful bit where we're gonna go around and say one thing that we're all thankful for. We're gonna start with Jack.
Oh, well, you know where this is going, don't you?
We're gonna start with Jack.
I'm thankful for all of my wonderful friends out of game, as well as my wonderful friends in game. You know, Kashak's a lonely guy generally, so to have the comfort of Twinkletoes, Oski, and especially my good friend Bastro, you know, I feel like he's really coming along as a character, and I'm really excited to see where his story takes us as a listening party and as a group, mostly as a country. Like you said, It's a really momentous occasion for everyone. So I think that Bastro's story can be an inspiration to youth everywhere.
So that isn't what I meant, but I like it. We're gonna roll with it in character. What is Twinkletoes thankful for?
Oh.
Twinkletoes, I'm very thankful for having found my mother and for the possible opportunity of also finding my father. Hopefully he's still alive.
We can only hope.
We'll have to tug on that thread and see what unwinds. Oski, what are you thankful for, bud?
Oski is very thankful for having found a home with this group. He is an outsider to Absalom and is grateful to now one fewer member of his found family of Twinkletoes and Kashak, and he will mourn significantly for the loss of his friend Bastro. Was Kashak before Oski, or was Kashak after Oski?
Kashak was before Oski.
Yeah, Oski
Kashak came in right before the fight that killed the doctor.
So Oski is the new member still. So he is very grateful for this family because he's been exiled from his homeland and is trying to rid himself of this taint that he feels he has suffered and doesn't really know how to do that. And until he figures that out, he is glad to be mission driven with this family away from his family.
Yeah. You know, I'm super thankful that we have the opportunity to tell stories together, that we can explore some more sensitive topics. I'm also very thankful for the Illusion School of Magic.
Dude, that
Bastard,
spell...
what are you thankful for? I got you.
This is Daniel speaking. I don't know who Will's talking to because if you were paying attention last week, I can't even finish. Pastor is just
I'm sorry.
gone.
I'm sorry. I don't.
He's dead.
I genuinely
He's
don't
not talking anymore.
want. I wanted to. I don't want to meme on it
one
too hard.
spell.
Don't want to meme on it
With
too
one.
hard.
That spell should be revisited by the creators.
Is that a Pathfinder spell, or is that like AD&D?
I think it's
I don't know actually.
I think
It's in 5th edition.
Yeah, so I'd assume that it's at least 3rd edition, if not farther.
3.5, yeah.
But yeah, I wanted. You know, we joke around a lot. It's gonna be an emotional episode, so you know, hopefully a little laugh at the top.
I never made the joke that like Pathfinder 2e characters can't die. I never made that joke, and I was still like punished.
And you know who you should direct your rage at? Benjamin Johnson, because
True.
I'm going to burn every character around his so that all of your hatred at his words can.
It's all his fault.
Oski
spark.
can't die. That's all I'll keep saying. Oski can't die.
Yeah, we had another character death. Character death is hard. Every character that people bring to the table is at least a portion of themselves, and I truly feel thankful that we are at a table where we all have kind of a shared understanding of the stakes that we want to involve in our game. I'm not saying every game needs to have character death, and not every game does, and that's okay, but I think we as a table see character death as a possibility. And it comes with not pulling game punches for the sake of narrative. We try to let the game drive the narrative instead of the other way around, and then we kind of roll with those punches as they come. Without further ado, we will jump back into a rather prickly situation. Last week, we saw a lot. We saw the vault of the casino you all were in the midst of heisting. We saw the dead Jinn on the floor of the inner vault, and the Velstruck interlocutor standing over the body. And after a brief conversation and a quickly made ally, they left, giving Bastro a few magic items on the way out. You all opened the lockbox to find that it had been emptied. Following the trail of the alchemical substance that had been in said lockbox, you find a note with the initials FL saying, "I quit," and cross-referencing some of the casino's documents, you realize that it was a relatively short-tenured vault guard by the name of Franca Lorentz. This seems to be no mere coincidence, and so you store that away for later. Making your way out of the vault, the group comes back together just to see the end of the night, the end of the festivities, the announcement of the Gossamer auction, which was swiftly interrupted by one angry wizard out for revenge against Gage Carlisle. A raging fight ensues where multiple groups engage as Gage attempts to flee. Spells being tossed left and right, illusory cataclysms raining down on the party. And though the final blow is struck, we come back now to a rather grim scene. The central hall of this area has been almost completely upturned, tables and chairs smashed on the ground.
Blood everywhere.
Blood everywhere. Multiple bouncers strewn about at various odd angles. Whatever remaining attackers have gone invisible and fled, but standing below Kashak's bloody claws is the wizard. The wizard who cast a spell on Bastro that killed him in an instant. Kashak, as the red haze lifts from your eyes, you take stock of what's around you. You see Twinkletoes standing atop a casino table. The green velvet now marred with the sticky congealing blood of the foe you just vanquished. You both kind of look up from Skothka's body and make eye contact on an even plane. Looking around to see both Oski and Bastro on the ground, unconscious. Possibly worse. We're going to stay in initiative order. And I believe it is now Twinkletoes' turn. Twinkletoes, Oski is slumped across the table next to you. What would you like to do?
We map or no?
No. Theater of the mind.
Okay. I rush over to Oski and I pull out a healing potion.
Okay.
That's 2 actions, and then 3 actions I'll pour it into his mouth.
Very good. Go ahead and roll that for me.
Let's see, that's gonna be a minor elixir of life. Five points of healing. And you get a +1 bonus to saving throws against diseases and poisons for 10 minutes.
Sorry, my headphones literally cut out the second you started your turn, and I'm so sorry. I didn't hear a single thing you just did.
I ran over to you, took out a minor elixir of life, poured it in your mouth. You got 5 healing points of healing.
Oh, bless. Thank you. I go to wounded 2, and I'm conscious.
With a start and a sputter, Oski just begins heaving, turning onto the side and coughing. The tentacles have now begun to recede. The tattoo around his eye, the seething, writhing motion begins to slow before it eventually comes to a stop, almost embedding itself in his skin once more. Oski will come back to you. Erkanesh, you see, takes about 15 feet to where Bastro is lying on the ground. You see them step down and place a hand on Bastro's chest. And this warm, faint glow kind of emanates from it. Nothing happens with Bastro. Kashak, maybe you make eye contact as you look over, and you just see Erkanesh head go down with a slight nod. Or slight, yeah. That's a nod, yeah?
Head shake.
No? Head shake?
No.
Shake. That's the word I was looking for. With a slight shake
Erica,
of the head.
Erica, what do you mean? You can save him, right? He's fine. He goes down all the time. I'm sure he'll come back.
There are ways. But in this moment, no. Erkanesh, and we'll exit initiative. Erkanesh stands, picks up a toppled chair, and takes a seat in it. Just elbows onto the knees and breathing heavily with the paws under the chin. Oski, as your senses begin to return to you, there's one thing that begins to kind of pierce through the haze. And it is this intense, sharp, piercing pain on your chest.
And Oski's not wearing his armor. He's just wearing his waiter uniform still. So I think he just starts like scratching at it truthfully, just in this sort of like unknowable situation that he's in, and just sort of like rips it until his chest is just bare.
And as you look down, first, I need you to roll a will save.
With my level up, I went to a master in will save, fun fact. So I've got that going for me.
Voice.
That's a 33.
33, you say? What level are you guys now? 11?
11.
Oh, right, we leveled up. We'll get to that. You look down at this now familiar scarification that has seemingly appeared on your chest. Still the Ouroboros circling a clutch of eggs, but now a second egg has hatched with a hungering, gnawing worm poking talons, or I guess fangs, this rimmed, fanged mouth out. And as you see it, you just feel hunger welling up deep inside of you, almost insatiable. A hunger you're becoming more and more familiar with. And as you scan left, right, looking for something to satiate yourself, your eyes rest on the body of Bastro.
No!
For just a moment too long, as you begin to step up, but something within you says no. Something within you pushes the hunger down and buries it in this moment.
How is he? What has anyone tried anything on him?
Use my fourth action. With my fourth action, I would have run over to Bastro.
Okay. So you were next to him when Erikanesh tried to heal and told Kashak there was something.
Oski, I'm assuming Oski probably didn't hear that. He's looking at, I think, between Twinkletoes and Erikanesh, like, since they're right above him, like, he's just looking for any sign from either of them, either Twinkletoes or Erika.
You get a same slight shake of the head from Erika.
I think Oski's, like, he just slams what strength he has into a fist on the ground, and just, stays on the ground defeated.
Shock will stride over to Bastro, and he still has these wings extending from his back. He kind of tucks them in behind him. And he'll just, with a slow, kind of deliberate movement, slide a hand under the most of his back and then under his thighs, and then just fireman carry over the shoulder Bastro's body. This is not a safe place to be. There will be authorities arriving soon, and we don't need that kind of questioning. Erikanesh, I'm sure you feel the same.
As you fully hoist the body, you just feel Erikanesh's hand grip on your forearm, and they kind of look at you and they just say, there are ways, but they require preparation and resources.
Can you do it?
Not alone. I would need, and they look around, at least his help, pointing at Oski. But other aid would certainly be welcome and needed.
Would you come with us to our safe space, or hideout, to investigate this?
Okay.
What do you need? You need my help. I'll do anything.
Let us speak where it is safe.
I go over to the wizard's body and start I am looting the crap out of that thing.
Yeah,
And the other guys too.
We will save that for right now.
Okay.
Just
Well,
mark that I
just
haven't
have-
told you what
Yeah.
they have on them.
Any other housekeeping we need to do
just-
here?
As you are making your way
Imagine.
towards the exit, now carrying Bastro and a improvised sack, maybe the cloak that the wizard was wearing, just kind of bindled up and thrown over the shoulder. Gage approaches Twinkletoes, and you can see the 3 crossbow bolts like covering the top of his torso, and he has like one arm kind of splinted under. Just says, Mrs. Hammond, I cannot express the thanks and admiration that I have for your husband. He pulls out a card and gives it to you. It's a business card. Please, if there's ever anything I can do to repay you for your husband and your friends' actions here today, please come to me if there's anything you need. And I don't have much now, but he just pulls out a like a small pouch from his belts. Certainly it's not equitable to your loss, but please take this.
Thank you, sir, for your generosity. I'll be in touch.
Please.
Mr. Carlyle, this may not seem like even nearly the most pressing matter, but who did win the auction for the painting?
Just like you shock Gage just into like complete blank-faced stare at you as the mouth kind of goes agape. The auction. He pulls out the now bloodied slip of paper that had the list of the winners. Erikanesh won the painting with a bit of 1,800 gold.
The second that Gage says Erikanesh's name, Kashak like stomps to the stage or wherever it's being kept, snatches it in a hand, and then stomps back over.
It was like on an easel on the stage, how they display, auction items.
He's like marching there, grabs it, marches back. Thank you. We'll be taking our leave now.
And as Carlyle is just looking down the list, Miss Hammerman, you also won.
Oh, goody. How much did I put in for it?
No, I'll cover it. Is there an address I can send it to you? It's in the back in storage, and I see that you want to go.
Why don't I swing by in the next couple of days and get it? Is that all right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll cover the donation to the charity for you. It's the least I can do.
I'm glad you're all right, sir.
And as you all are leaving, there are 2 bouncers set up at the front with like 2 long tables next to them, and there seem to be little gift bags on the tables that they're handing out awkwardly to everybody who's leaving. And each of you are handed a gift bag as a parting favor.
2 more.
Do we get 4 of them?
Yeah, you get 4 of them.
Hey, really quick, Will, when you get a sec, check Facebook.
I refuse.
Kashak will slip one of the bags into Bastro's back pocket, which is like right here. On him right now.
Dead.
I will be right back. Oski's gonna run into the kitchen before we leave.
What, you're not going to leave your +1 full plate in the kitchen of the Lucky Nimbus Casino?
I will be right back.
If any of you pop open the gift bag, inside, it's like this nice silken blue bag, kind of like the size of, I don't know, like a dice bag maybe. Inside is a small corked bottle. Exactly, looks just like that. A small
That's
corked
great.
bottle of Gage's personally licensed Nimbus gin. A commemorative cyan casino token, inscribed with the date and name of the evening's gala. And a small, soft plush doll of the Lucky Nimbus's mascot, Gerbo the Genie, in a random color.
No.
Kashak pulls a red one, Twinkletoes
Oh no.
purple, Oski blue, and Bastro green.
What about the 2 extra that I grabbed?
Pick a color.
I got 2 more purples. Wow.
What a draw.
It was the rarest one.
And with that, you all make your way. As you exit, you see that the streets are just abuzz with confusion. Like, there are people that are, like, panickedly milling about. You're not, like, running away from the casino anymore because there's no real, like, action or fight happening. But people are just kind of, like, running back and forth, like, gossiping, trying to figure out what's going on. And in the distance, you hear the telltale whistle of guards approaching. It's drawing late. Maybe 12:45, 1 in the morning, by the time you make your way through the streets of Absalom, back to the safe house. You got some odd stares, but the further away you got from the casino, the more it just looked like a friend who had had a bit too much and was being escorted home for the night. You descend the cellar under the house, passing some of the wards and obfuscation attempts laid by Twinkletoes. You make your way down below the streets of Absalom. A few lit torches provide the light under which Bastro now rests on a recently cleared alchemy table, as Erkanesh begins scrawling on some scrap paper that had been left out.
Erica, what is it that you need from us? I can move the tables around. You said Oski could be of a particular value. I don't want to be in the way, but
Judging on the magical capabilities of your friend, and Will not being a dick, making you resurrect him at 10th level, about 825 gold worth of diamonds. And then Oski would need to be the one to lead the ritual. I've written it all out.
And you see Oski's carrying this big bowl of something that he just sort of throws onto the table and looks up at Eric and says, I don't know, I don't know, I've never, this is beyond me, I don't know. And like Oski is not well. Like anyone looking at him, beyond the fact that he's at 5 hit points, he is beside himself right now. He is like sweating. He's got bloodshot eyes. He is beyond himself right now.
It would.
What would I have to do?
You would just read these words, and once I have everything else set up, you would just have to read it to make contact with your friend's spirit, his soul in the boneyard. If done properly, you could form the bridge that would allow his soul to return to the body and bring him back.
This is all the gold I have. And Oski like goes into his pockets and pulls out and just like throws it onto the table, like haphazardly. 3 gold, 5 copper, and then 10 gold and casino chips. And he just throws it onto the table and says, "That's all I have to my name. I don't have 800.
Erica, how much time do we have before this other way that you described would not work? Do we have some time to prepare?
You could prepare for a full year if you needed to.
I suspect it will not take so long, but we did
shouldn't
acquire some objects from our assailants, and well, perhaps these gift bags we received might be worth something. Surely we can try our best to scrounge the money, but yeah, then Kashak goes into his own purse and pulls out 17 gold. It's like, we're not even close.
Pull out 73 and the bag that that Gage gave me and see how much is in there.
The bag that Gage gave you contains 40 platinum.
That helps.
Wow, that certainly helps.
Arakanesh says, I have a few diamonds that I may be able to loan on credit. I hate to be insensitive, but
We understand. You don't need to say it. It's okay.
We would also prefer to use our own resources before assessing yours, but that is good to know, Erica. Thank you for telling us. I think that Kashak would start looking at the things that we looted from the shadow creatures, the shadow people, and start kind of getting a mental note of how much money are we talking about here. It's in sale value.
Okay. You see, while you are doing that, Arakanesh takes a few moments to essentially their hands like wave the length of Bastra's body, hovering a few inches over him. And after they complete this motion, you just get this whiff of fresh, like produce and wildflowers that begins to emanate as they cast gentle repose on Bastro. This should protect him for now from the ravages of time. If this will take a bit of time, I would request that you find me at Historia Reliquary in the coins when you're ready. And they depart.
Do they take their painting?
Yes, they take the painting.
If not, we're pawning that thing off.
They leave, and like 5 minutes later, they come back. I'm so sorry. I did actually really want that. I spent a lot of money on.
Where was my head? I'm so sorry.
On that, about 1,800 gold for that. So, thanks. and they take the painting and go.
We also take great care to Men in Black mind wipe Eric and Ash's memory of the location of our hideout.
Okay.
They let you do that.
Do you mean my safe house? Is that where we are?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That is where I was told you were going, right? Yes.
Was that a
Works
fit?
for me.
What level gentle repose was that?
Second level.
All right, should we talk turkey, or is there anything else we should discuss before?
Oski,
I have a. Go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say roll some craft checks for me to identify.
Ooh.
Some craft checks. Okay.
Yee.
So I think while Erica's departing, and maybe there's a very brief and awkward goodbye, Oski is just devouring what's in this bowl that he brought back with him, and then I think when everyone comes back into the room, he stops and tries to hide the bowl, and we'll say, yes, let's see what we have, and I'll roll some craft checks.
Rolled 3 assists with the crafting. I did not assist with the first one, but I got a 28 and a 27 for my second, so I
Okay.
assist with those two.
Cool. All right, so I will roll 3 craft checks. First one, unassisted, is a 29. Second one, assisted, horrible roll, is a 24.
Okay.
Third one, oh my god, that's a natural 1. Third one, assisted, is a 19.
Okay. So you would have enough time, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anyone is resting until you figure it out what resources you have available to you.
I'll keep rolling if you want me to.
No, this was just a how long is it going to take?
Okay.
It takes you about 2 hours to identify everything. Some of it easier than others. From the kind of bundle of Gothika's items. A +1 striking dagger. +1 leather armor. A spell book containing quite a few spells. And the one that really kind of befuddles you, the one that takes a long time, is the Wand of Manifold Missiles at 3rd level.
Such a good item. Oh my god.
On top of that, you have access to Bastro's inventory, including 2 items that had as of yet gone unidentified: a ring and a suit of leather armor. I am
Yeah.
going
The
to
reason
ask
I
you
died.
to roll
By
a
the way.
separate, not crafting for this one, but either Arcana or Religion, or anyone else, some kind of magical related
try
skill.
We
Religion.
can assist with religion.
Oh god, my dice are horrible tonight. It's a 21 religion.
I assisted with a 30, which I believe is a critical assist, so +2.
Okay,
So it's a 23.
all right.
Besides my first roll, I haven't rolled above a 5.
So, this is what is called a chained leather vest. Essentially, it is a studded leather armor, which allows you to activate the chains on it with 2 action interact to once per day to cast spiritual weapon as a spiked chain that fights for you.
Nice.
Pretty dope.
Hey guys, I don't recommend Googling chained leather vest without Pathfinder in the Google search
I
term.
also don't recommend
Oh,
googling it
I
with
don't.
Pathfinder either.
Oh, no.
So
I don't recommend it. Okay.
I also recommend not Googling it with Pathfinder.
Well,
And the ring. The ring is... Where is it? A ring of wizardry, type 2. So...
That's pretty good.
wow.
The
Don't know what
ring of wizardry,
I don't know what it does in this game, but it's a good item.
basically type 2. I want to say... let me see.
Oh yeah, that's a fat item.
Gives you a +2 bonus to... Where is it? Arcana checks. As well as granting 2 additional second level spell slots and 1 additional first level spell slot.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like a primo
that's a
item for
cool
wizards.
Item.
And for people who cast spells in a variety of different ways, you can divide the spell slots as you wish amongst your various sources of arcane spells.
Will, I'm just curious, would a 26 on either check give us more information?
No.
No, okay.
I did assist with a 30 on the leather armor. Don't know if that.
I rolled separate checks.
I can't seem to find the chained leather vest on.
We were instructed not to
Archives.
Google it, Benjamin.
We said not Google it, not go to archives for it.
Don't look up the item.
Don't look up the item. Okay, I was trying to see if it's just the gold value.
Gold value is...
You can tell us if you want to.
You can certainly get it appraised.
I was going to say, that's...
All right.
All right. Does it look... It looks combat effective, not like ceremonial.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, it is a studded leather armor with coils of chain that wrap around the shoulders, which Oski is able to identify will, once interacting with the magic of the item, the chains will animate and act as spiritual weapon, the spell.
Can I roll a religion check on that? And whether this item might have a particular affiliation to a particular deity who likes chains and would not be cool to be like talked about in this city?
Sure.
Lol.
Fine, be cryptic.
31.
31. You are aware that the spiked chain is the holy symbol of Zon Kuthan.
Unholy.
Unholy symbol, yes. Or the favorite weapon, at the very least, of Zon Kuthan. Basically, Lord of Pain and Mutilation. This does not give off that vibe.
This weapon doesn't seem, or this armor doesn't seem like it is like an emblem of Zon Kuthan.
No, it does not. There's no religious iconography. There's no excessive like spikes, or yeah, it doesn't seem to have
Not gaudy.
that. Yeah, and it's Zon Kuthan would be the non-Pathfinder Google chained vest motif, and this is not that.
You almost see Kashak wince a little bit and then cover up his eye as he's like kind of shaking off like a headache. He's very visibly uncomfortable with something, and I think that he's seeing these like visions of Kuthonite worship and seeing some of the uses for this item that are less than savory. And he's kind of, that's what kind of thinks, it forces him to think about this. But ultimately he kind of realizes that this isn't necessarily an evil item. This weapon, or this armor may be favored by certain people, but it should be safe to sell to any crowd, I think, even if it's a bit more diabolical. And the ring certainly must carry its own value, if what you say it does is true. Would it be cool if I put together like a sell value from just Pathfinder?
Yeah, well, that's why I was looking for the gold value. I think we should do that.
If we want to go get the leather vest appraised, I can work on the more kind of normal
in
stuff.
all actuality, the item does not have a listed gold value.
Oh.
So.
Well, it's +1 leather armor, right? Studded leather armor?
Yes.
Studded, +1 studded.
Correct.
So it's at least worth more than that. You said it works autonomously? It works like by itself, or it can be used for that purpose?
This is where you get into the nitty-gritty of wording, because it does not say you can cast spiritual weapon with this item. It says the vest casts spiritual weapon. So I read that to mean that it is the one doing the upkeep.
Would you be able to read like the whole paragraph, or you don't want to?
2 action interact once per day. The chained vest casts spiritual weapon, summoning a spiked chain to fight for you.
I know that's definitely you spend 2 actions for the vest to cast it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work by itself, but it does give you that ability, and I mean that's
like something that a caster could use, though. Like,
yeah, I would say that would put 50 gold on the purchase price for the item. So we would sell it for another 25. That's just like completely out of my ass.
I think the chains would be a little loud for a vigilante, so I think I'll pass.
Oski's not getting rid of his victory plate, so he doesn't want it.
Well, I feel bad, like, trying to sell things that Bastro might want after we resurrect.
I mean, we can't resurrect him if we don't have the gold.
That's true.
You guys want to go into debt?
No.
Yeah, I don't. How much do we think we could get for these 2 items? We have 40 platinum plus the change that we have cobbled together. Is that sufficient?
Plus like 100 gold.
Yeah.
I think we can get there, to be honest.
I mean, the ring.
Ring of Wizardry is 1,000 gold pieces on.
Yeah, the ring by itself would get us there.
Wait, we would just sell that for 500 and then we're good.
Yeah.
Oh, then why am I even doing that? Yeah.
Because I want Oski to have the ring.
Well, I actually can't have the ring. You have to be able to cast arcane spells. I only cast divine spells.
Well, I mean, Bastro would definitely want that item.
Yeah, Bastro would like the ring, because aren't Magus divine or arcane?
Yeah.
Arcane, baby.
Can Maguses get extra spell slots?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What level is the Wand of Manifold Missiles?
Third.
Third level, so.
I mean, that would actually get us there if we saw that.
It's such a good item though, also for Bastro. But
It's not for
Yeah,
Master,
we said-
actually, because
yeah.
he needs free hands.
Oh, true. Yeah. Okay. We sell the.
Well, he needs and free hand.
That isn't doing the punching, and you can't punch with your wand hand.
Yeah, you got your wand hand and your punching hand.
The wand. Never mind.
We sell the wand and the armor and hold on to the ring. That should get us there, no?
I think if I'm doing my math correctly, and you see Kashak has gotten out like several dried beans from the counter of the pantry, and he's laid out like 800 beans on the ground.
It's gone through 6 napkins.
I think just the ring, our money, and the
You would have 400 from.
yeah, and Gage.
So if you're selling the ring, it would be 400 from that and 500 from the ring. Golden.
Wait, we are not selling the ring.
If you're selling the wand, it's 350
350.
plus 400, so you'd be at 750 of 875. So you need another 125.
And then it's like +1 strike.
+1 leather armor.
And the +1 striking dagger that
Okay.
we can't use anyway.
So
yeah.
We'll assume that the wand is being sold and that some of the extra +1 weapons and armor are getting sold.
Yeah.
And we will come back to now the following morning very early. You all were able to catch a midnight market, sell off some of these items, trade for some diamonds, and by the early morning, Kashak, you run by Historia Reliquary, where Erkanesh works and lives. And as if expecting you, you see them buttoning up the last few buttons of their vest as you enter the tent, and they turn and begin walking out with you. You all
Erica.
reconvene. Oh, sorry.
Erica, thank you for this. We can't tell you how much it means to us. I do hope that the reliquary will be okay while you're gone.
It'll be fine. And they just put like 3 buttons on the front flap of the tent. Everything is still locked away. And my neighbors will watch everything.
Very secure system you've got there. May I ask, you certainly kept your abilities under wraps for a long time when we were interacting, I suppose. I didn't ask directly, but...
You never needed clerical services.
May I ask where your skills come from? More of the information about you.
I'll need you to be more specific with your questions.
You said you were a cleric. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you have a god that you worship? I'm sorry, I'm not exactly sure how these things work.
I do.
Which one?
How familiar are you with the Draconic Pantheon?
Intimately.
I understand that our people have a storied history, especially with their recent manifestation of Dahak that sundered many of the lands of the Moangi. But just as dragons come in a variety of forms, so too does the Pantheon shift and change to suit the peoples that worship it. I follow a dragon. A dragon named Apsu.
Apsu.
Yes.
You
The silver
still
dragon.
worship. You still worship Apsu, and your powers remain intact.
I'm sorry. Were you under the assumption that they wouldn't?
My people have long told us that Apsu had been killed.
By whom?
Now that you mention it, the stories were vague. In some iterations it was Dahak, in some iterations it was Tiamat himself, but similar to what I hear about Erevdan, so too Apsu has been slain in some sort of battle, and we were told that the gold scale has taken its place as sort of a reclamation of the task that Apsu held to destroy Dahak at all costs. But you're telling me that Apsu still lives? Still holds power on this plane?
degree. Apsu is by no means a prevalent deity, but they are the lord of metallic dragons and metallic dragon kind, which does include golden dragons. I'm not entirely familiar with this being you reference as the gold scale, but perhaps they are two sides of the same coin.
That is an immensely generous way of thinking. This is earth-shattering to Kashak. This is like his whole world collapsing. By no means was he a religious guy, but this is like the whole story, is that Apsu is dead, and his solemn mission of destroying Dahak forever and stopping all evil among the dragons has been taken up by this being called the Gold Scale, and it was the Gold Scale that gives his tribe's leaders their like divine mandate and gives their, all of them like good graces and luck. It's like, imagine if I told you like Jesus just like didn't exist. Like if you were a diehard Christian and like, hey, Jesus never happened, didn't happen. God's still around. It's just God, like the Old Testament God that you guys don't really mess around with. Like that's just him.
Yeah.
So he is pretty upset about this with Eric and Nesh, and I think he kind of changes the subject pretty quickly. So this this ritual that you'll perform, this resurrection, how's it gonna go exactly?
It requires a bit of preparation and, well, lots of diamond dust. And... Sorry, go ahead.
Will Bastro, can he talk to us before... You said you made it seem like he has a choice.
We, in performing the ritual, build the bridge between the material plane and the boneyard. It's still Bastro's choice to walk it.
If he doesn't choose to, would we be able to say goodbye at least?
In a manner of speaking. Oski will be the one making that connection.
So we could at least tell Oski what to tell him.
Yes.
If I may be vulnerable with you, Erica, I have had my reservations about both Oski and Bastro of late. My people have taught us that monsters are always to be feared in whatever form they may come around in, and... well, you've seen them. But Bastro was a dear friend, and he would have laid his life for me. I'm conflicted.
Goodness can take many forms. And for someone so far away from home, certainly this place is a whole new world to you.
Yes, of course.
I think the only indication that you need is that those you surround yourself with are just as devoted to you, Kashak, as you are to them. There needn't be any other conditions.
Kashak takes the necklace that he holds that has Shithra pokeballed inside of it, and he'll release her, having just kind of remembered that she's in there. She comes out, and they have a little hello, but he turns back to Eric and Nash. I did not know this creature before I came to Absalom, and she is my dearest friend. Those other 3 back at the safe house, they are my closest friends as well. You have shown me that perhaps my tribe was not fully honest about its most core values and beliefs. Perhaps I should be questioning other teachings of theirs as well. And he thinks back to the interaction he had with the Naga that kind of first let this idea of like monsters are around you and will come around you all the time. He kind of thinks for the first time, like, things might have ulterior motives. Things might not be worth their face value all the time, and that's a new realization for him. He's kind of first seeing a lot of this nuance.
Did you know, Kashak, that few mortals actually practice worship of Apsu?
Yes, of course. I of course believed that it was because he was dead, but...
But did you know that those who do tend to wear a golden brooch? And they just kind of poke a claw, like, right into the black scale on your chest. Almost absent-mindedly, as they say it, and continue to walk on. And maybe this is like as they turn into the onto the street and open the cellar door, begin to descend under into the safe house, kind of going off ahead of you, leaving you at the top of the stairs.
A brief moment of just kind of standing back on his heels, like, what on earth was that last 10 minutes of my life? I have so many, he's already so vulnerable and so many things to think about that he almost cannot process even half the information that was just presented to him. So he kind of stares into space for a minute or two, and then just like adjusts his armor, fixes his bow on his back, and like just strides confidently into the room.
And that is where we will cut for the first half. We'll be back at 8:30 Eastern Standard.
We're doing a ritual, people. Don't go anywhere.
It's a big ol' ritual. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll see you in just a little bit, 8:30 Eastern Standard. Welcome back, everybody.
Thank you, Will.
You're welcome. I'm glad you're all here. We return to the secret lair, the hideout of a... Well, I was going to say famous, but she's actually rather successful at maintaining her identity, so, an unbeknownst yet relatively influential vigilante. Do I still have... Yes, I do. Just want to drop you on the map, because we don't use it enough. Ooh. Wait, that's not right.
You were there, and then you stopped being
It was wrong on the stream, so I tried changing it. Here we go. Here we go. We're getting there.
Yeah, this table over
Oh.
here was specifically meant to drop dead bodies to resurrect later on.
Do you guys see it?
Well, I see it.
Yeah.
That's so
Oh.
wild. Oh, I know what's going on. I have 2 GM accounts loaded in on my 2 Roll20
Aha.
screens.
Oh,
There we go. This is
Nice.
such a wonderful map. Again, just shout out to our in-house artist, Emma Grace, for doing wonderful work.
Me? Aw, shucks.
You see
very cool.
Bastro is currently laid out on the table here, whilst Erikanesh is busy grinding diamonds in a mortar and pestle into a fine powder. I guess with another diamond, because that's what you would need to be able to do that. They always ask for diamond dust, but it's like, what actually makes that? More diamonds is what makes diamond dust, I guess. It's a laborious process, and as more dust is made of what you have requisitioned, this runic circle begins to emerge on the floor of this space, glimmering, sparkling in the flickering torchlight, casting a cavalcade of colors, almost disco ball-esque, with the brilliant blues and reds, and purples and pinks shimmering about the room. Eventually, the script is laid onto the floor in this circle in some foreign to you language. Unless any of you happen to speak Celestial, then I'll give it to you. Good, because I didn't have something off the top of my head for this.
Oh, yikes, Bastard did.
Oh, I know. A multitude of incense lit about in various places in the room, and you almost watch as these strands of smoke begin to coalesce in towards the center of the circle, kind of vortexing around the head of Bastro's dead body. Loving it. As the circle is completed, the last few grains of diamond laid over the eyes and forehead of Bastro in another runic sigil. Erika turns to Oski. Now, I will be providing the majority of the magic, but I need you, as someone close to the departed, to be the conduit.
Okay.
For the secondary casters, that would be you, Kashak, and Miss Twinkletoes. Please place your hands on Oski's shoulders.
I can't do magic. Is that gonna make things
No,
bad?
no, it is just your impression of Bastro that will help guide the magics towards the proper soul. When you're ready, Oski, and you look at the parchment at just paragraphs and paragraphs. Oh, did I forget to mention this ritual takes a day? Sorry about that.
Oh, I have a thing at 4. Is that's I should clear that then, I guess.
I really wish you told me.
I mean, it's either resurrect Bastard today or do it tomorrow. You don't really have any in between.
Listen, can I make some phone calls first? This is a really important thing I gotta do. But
Look, if they really need you, all right, I'll keep a pager on me, and they can get in contact with. Just give them my number, all right?
all right, hold on.
Email? Really? You sent it out by email? You think if people really need you, they're gonna check their email first?
That's the primary method of contact I've had. I don't want to be awkward and call.
Fine. Good lord. You begin the recitation, and it is surprisingly mundane, and there's a lot of like fill in the blank left, where it's like the color of his eye,
Standard form.
yeah,
It's a Mad Libs.
the texture of his hair, like his favorite food, or what you know.
Texture of his hair, antenna texture.
But as you
Ropey.
I think as Oski begins reciting the incantation provided, what it's in common, or is it in
it's in common, yeah. It's in
okay,
common.
it's in common. I think even still though, like Oski, for better or worse, a large portion of his current divine magic that he has comes from Cabriri.
Mm-hmm.
For better or worse. That's where he gets it. So as he's doing this, I think Twinkle Toes and Kashak see the tattoos begin to undulate on his head, and Oski begins to sort of lose himself, but he's still reciting the incantation.
Yeah. Oski, you have one hand over the sternum, and this line of diamond dust has been made across that hand, running down from the forehead, over the chin, down the neck, across the sternum, and over your hand, kind of forming this unbroken connection between you and Bastro and Kashak and Twinkletoes. As the ritual is recited, you just see bits of diamond dust, the bits that are touching Oski's skin. Every once in a while, the light just almost, instead of refracting out, seems to just get sucked in. But the ritual continues on. This strange, still divine yet unsettling nature, where the contact is made between Oski and the ritual components. Oski, you continue on and eventually get past the form fillable section, and you begin to recite the powerful incantations, and as this happens, eventually you just kind of notice in the background that this whole time that you've been reciting what has been handed to you, Erikanesh is also almost in echo, chanting with you in Celestial. The first thing I'm going to need is a society check from Twinkletoes.
Oh, yeah, I got that. That's gonna be a 29.
29. Very good. Twinkletoes, as this is happening, you feel like waves crashing against your mind, just memories of Bastro, almost in like perfect recollection, like photographic memory, this reel of the time that you've spent with Bastro running through your mind. What's the one thing that really you just keep rewinding, watching back, and rewinding and watching back? The one thing that centers Twinkletoes to the memory of Bastro.
Oh god.
I know it's a lot to ask for an improv scene, but let's do it.
When they went to the pit fight, and they were picking out their outfits together, their disguises.
Yeah. So every garment that the two of you looked at, every comment about how niche or about how tacky the item was, the moment you both settled on the perfect set of boots for each other's costumes, just keeps replaying in your mind again and again. And you almost feel this memory as if it's like leaking out of you through your arm and into Oski. Not that the memory is leaving, but that you are imparting that memory into the spell. How's your medicine, Kashak?
I have better skills.
What is a skill that you have that you think would be applicable to this situation?
Have we leveled?
Yes.
We've done a full night's rest since we leveled up, so.
You know, I acquired a decent religion check.
Did you now?
I sure did.
Go ahead and roll me a religion then.
Decent indeed. Natural 20 for a 37.
Oh, baby.
Oh.
So Oski marked down a +2 from the crit success on Kashak. Kashak. I don't want to say born again because that has mixed connotations. Almost as if your recent experiences have revitalized some sense, some connection to the divine, the greater powers of Golarion. You reflect on the actions and the ways in which Bastro himself committed to and utilized his divine connection. You recall the first time you met Peter. You feel, almost like a phantom limb, you feel the sensation of the halo being alit on your brow. You feel the warmth of the hearth that Bastro would spread to his friends in their time of need. And just in the way that Bastro left that divine imprint of himself on you, you now push that imprint back into the spell. This divine connection that you have forged with Bastro, now redoubling in search across the plains for him. Oski, I also now need a religion check from you.
At a +2 or no?
With the +2 from the crit on Kashak. Yeah.
With the +2. Okay. There it is. I already complained about my dice rolls tonight. Also a natural 20. With the +2, that's a 40.
Okay.
Ooh, doggy.
We're making connection with our boys.
You feel this humming sensation as you draw close to the last quarter. You've now flipped across a couple of pages and you're nearing the end of the ritual. It's been 16 hours at this point of you all standing there, and while Kashak and Twinkletoes have been able to walk around, grab water, do things, but the vast majority of their time has been spent with their hand on your shoulder, going over their experiences, focusing on who Bastro was, who he was to them, and how Bastro impacted them. You have been locked in this spot, unable to break the connection in the diamonds. You begin to almost dissociate with yourself as you begin to hear the words on the page spoken in your voice, but you realize that you're no longer the one speaking them. And this consciousness kind of begins to fade. And it fades to blackness. The words in common being spoken in your own voice, ringing in your ears with the celestial from Erekanesh behind it. This blackness, you feel yourself being pulled across space as the words begin to fade and fade and fade behind you. Far off in front of you, you just finally, after some time, see an island in the darkness, but not of greenery, not in the ocean, just a gray slab in a stretch of nothing. It begins to come closer and closer to you. Eventually you're able to step onto the island, though you don't really have a sense of physicality in this space, but the way that you're perceiving your motion, you kind of feel these phantom footfalls that lead you, push you, pull you up. And as you look down, you would feel a crunch of bone beneath the feet. And as you walk further onto this island, 3 hazy images, distinct figures, begin to clarify. The first is a large, almost impossibly massive creature, feathered from tip of beak to end of tail. This great draconic beast stands at the center of the island.
Oh my.
It seems to be preoccupied, moving its head back and forth between the 2 other, still hazy figures, before its eyes settle on you. You feel the weight of its gaze. It is clear that you are in its domain. But you hear a voice from it, though not audible. The message is conveyed. It seems we have time yet for a decision to be made. A new figure approaches, wishing to plead a case in this court. A second figure begins to clarify. A woman with 6 angelic wings appears before you. standing stern with a divine weapon at her side. She hovers a few feet off the ground, and as she comes into focus, you see, too, a ghostly image of Bastro stands next to her. This one, she says, gesturing to you, was a mortal scion, a friend and ally to my partner here. And she gestures down at Bastro. He wishes to make a claim that Bastro should return to the material realm, invoking the divine magics of resurrection. And the third and final figure clarifies as its gaze now comes to you.
Oh, we've seen her before.
This woman, clad in spider silk, with great silken wings expanding behind her, turns now to face you as well, Oski. Just says, I have made my position clear. This soul has been claimed already. Pharasma's will dictates this one remain in the boneyard for further use at a later time. The great worm raises its head and this psychic roar emanates, silencing the two quarreling figures. This one has rights of first refusal, as per the divine edict of the resurrection magics now cast by a follower and practitioner of Apsu. This one may plead his case, and Bastro may choose. They all three look to you, Oski.
Oski, I think, takes a second and straightens up and looks at Bastro for a long pause. Stares over at the defense, then the mysterious woman, before looking back to the judge and says, Your Honor, Bastro is on a mission greater than that which we even know at this point. When I discovered him, he was already set upon this quest and saved my own life in pursuit of this mission. We seek something which is racking the very holy city of Absalom. The aspect of Norgorber seeks to destroy and overcome that which we know dear in the city. Bastro is but a key component in overcoming this evil that besets us on the mortal plane. Very few, I think, know even the depths of this, including us, but Bastro, I believe, has a key role to play yet. We are but a fourth of the way through this Twilight Four that claim to be acting in some unholy edict of Norgorber, and Bastro has a part yet to play. Now I do not claim to know the secrets of Pharasma, but in my holy trainings of Masluda, who was risen from once being a mere imperial lord to goddom like perhaps yourself, has taught me that all are welcome at the table who have a purpose. All have a place in this world. All deserve a chance to make something of themselves if they choose to be at that table. Bastro deserves that choice. Bastro has something yet to prove, yet to play in this world. He saved me, and I ask you to let him have a chance to save many others. That is all.
The angelic woman, again gesturing towards you. It is as I have said. He has lived a good and honorable life regardless of the circumstances laid out before him. He deserves to go to Elysium, to be with our Lord Kalen Kalian. The silken-clad woman. It is not up to us to decide the battles between godly mortals. It is up to Pharasma to judge where souls go, and her will dictates the boneyard. The creature once more, just a low, painful rumble emanates to silence the two. Oski, while I appreciate your respect for the court, it is not I you need to convince. It is Bastro. Based on the divine law of the magics you have invoked, Bastro will have a say of yes or no. And that is his choice. But if he chooses no, to not return to the mortal plane, then it is mine. Bastro.
Your Honor, may I say something directly to Bastro?
Please.
Bastro, you saved my life. What I am, I owe to you. I don't know if we can extend our journey without you. We need you. I need you. Bastro. Please, that's all.
Bastro, you feel a weight lift from you. Oski, you see as the form before you, the silhouette materializes. Bastro, you can speak.
Oski, it feels like it's been forever since I've last seen you. This place, it's not familiar, yet unfamiliar at the same time, if that makes sense. But I hear your plea. I don't know what will happen if I decide to remain here. What fate this being will give me. But I'll choose to follow you and fight with you instead. I think that's the right decision here. If you're able to, pull me back out.
With that declaration, the creature rumbles once more and just says, "This court is dismissed." And with a sharp snap of your consciousness, you both snap back to your bodies, with Bastro now alive.
Bastro just gasping for air on this operating table.
Yes!
He's just kind of like looking around, kind of like he's like fists are up. He's still like imagining that there's a wizard to fight.
I should say,
What's going on?
Bastro, you don't have any memory of what happened there. The last thing that you remember is a massive shadowy hand reaching out, palming your face, and just collapsing your head. That is the last thing you remember.
As he comes to consciousness, it's something similar as Twinkle Toes. It's like, hugging his head so tight and sobbing, and so it's,
I think Basher would almost instinctively like try to bash your head in until he hear your voice and recognizes the small figure on top of him. He's just like, TT, what's going on? What? Oh my God! The last thing I saw was this huge hand coming out towards me, and where are we?
Twinkle Toes is like actively sobbing in front of you, and like through tears, is like, you died, you were safe out.
Bastro,
All you make out.
we are back in the safe house. Everything is okay. We took care of the combat and the danger at the Lucky Nimbus, but yes, as Twinkle Toes said, you died. But as I'm sure you can tell, you've been brought back.
I guess I have. I mean, I don't really remember death. I don't know.
That, I think, is the greatest blessing you could have received.
So, because of Oski's critical success, you are brought back to life with full hit points and the same prepared spells and pools that you had when you died.
And at 11th level.
Wait,
and at 11th level. You also have a +1 status bonus to attack rolls, perception rolls, saving throws, and skill checks for 1 week.
For a week?
Okay.
What?
After meeting Tice, your literal divine herald.
Yo.
Though you did not know it, she was fighting for you in Pharasma's court to take your soul to Elysium.
Yeah, I don't want to get sent to the boneyard. That's scary.
That sounds like it sucks.
We'll talk about what your changed in some way from the afterlife, such as gaining personality shift, streak of white hair, or strange new birthmark looks like, since you're already like
more physical deformities.
obscenely augmented. Yeah.
Oh God. His flesh warp becomes flesh warped.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we didn't need that backup character art that I
Oh
pumped
no!
out in the
Oh
day
no!
and a
He's
half.
locked in now. He's locked in. There's no changing it again.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
for sure, but
that's there for
Didn't
life.
need
I
to
did
get
too
it
much.
done in a day and a half, though. Like,
It's fine. I can kill Bastro again if I want to.
You know, I
Eric
was.
casts Phantasmal Killer on you.
I do blame you guys for me wanting to keep Astro alive, because those heartfelt stories of the good times with Astro.
Did you make that call right now?
Yes. 100%.
Yo,
Yeah.
That's
wait,
awesome.
Really,
that
right-
actually
right.
makes me so happy.
I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
If you
Like,
guys knew
like-
how much work we did in the background,
I
specifically
know,
Emily
I'm
Grace,
saying. I mean,
to
shout-
get everything
shout out.
ready for
Shout
the
out.
Yeah, snap.
for the,
No, you guys-
the backup
that was-
character.
That was amazing. That
Record time during Thanksgiving season, by the way.
Yeah,
literally,
seriously,
like,
excellent job.
lesbians did not have a computer with me until I got home on Saturday, yesterday, to get this done. And
But it's
you'll
all
just have to
good.
wait even longer to see it.
was,
So, with your friend returned to you, newly inspired and leaving the table, you all bed down for the night after a full 24-hour ritual casting of the resurrection spell.
I think Oski passes out the second Bastro comes to, and he's done with the incantation.
Yeah, by
I
the
think
time
Oski
you-
literally like collapses on the ground and is just
Yeah.
8 hours asleep on the floor.
By the time any of
Pull
you
out
can look around,
the futon.
Eric
I
and
pull
Ash
out
is
the
also.
futon.
Say again?
I pull out the futon and the 4 sleeping bags from this cabinet over here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Kashak, I'm gonna need some help getting Oski up onto this thing.
he does certainly help you. Yeah, I think we just bookmark all of like the heartfelt return and all of the emotion, which is like, we will deal with this in the morning. It's
So
not a
we
big
are
deal.
all camping out in sleeping bags in this little section.
Erkanesh, similar to Oski, is just down for the count as soon as the spell completes. Funnily enough, Bastro is the only one who is wide awake right now because
Full
of how
hit
good
points.
he's feeling after that. Though you can take a long rest to regain all of your spell slots. You all bed down. It is now... I mean, that was 24 hours. You started it pretty early in the morning, like bright and early the day after he died. I would assume that it ends at like 8 o'clock in the morning, considering, you know, prep time and getting the circle and everything set up. You go down for your 10 hours, we'll call it, for a considerable rest, and it is 6 p.m. We're going to remind you guys of a couple things after we talk about level ups.
Yeah.
So, after defeating the angry wizard who attempted to kill, since you guys still don't actually theoretically know his name, you all did level up. I forgot to mention that on stream, but I told them afterwards, so they had it all prepared. Who wants to go first? Bastro, that
Nope.
11th level Bastro character that you definitely leveled up?
Oh, yeah. It's a secret.
Okay, Kashak.
I'll go first, yeah. So, a couple of ranger points of order. I did receive the Juggernaut class feature, which is the fortitude saves to master, and a success is a critical success. So I now
Love
have
that.
that for both fortitude saves and reflex saves, which is awesome as long as I succeed. I did also get our expert proficiency in all of my armors, so light, medium, and
Hey.
unarmored. So my AC went to 31 this level, which is
Yo!
pretty fat, actually.
That's big. That's big.
Um,
It's not going to help you on those will saves, but it's big.
I also got this neat ability that kind of plays into the one I got at 9th level. So at 9th level, I got Nature's Edge, which if there's an enemy in natural difficult terrain, they're flat-footed to me. And then Wild Stride is the 11th level ability I received, where I can ignore the effects of non-magical difficult terrain. So I just kind of walk through. I mean, like, a ledge is a different conversation, but like if it's like rocky terrain and that makes it difficult, I don't care.
You don't care?
I just stride right through it. So it's kind of cool.
Goes really
Kinda
well with your
niche.
new once per day fly ability.
Yeah, when I'm not flying that 7 times per day that I'm doing this. Outside of that, I got I took a general feat that is kind of interesting. So I took the Ancestral Paragon general feat,
Yeah.
which gives you a first level ancestry feat. And with that, I took Lizard Folk Lore. So I got trained in 2 skills. The Lizard Folk Lore skill gives you nature and survival, which of course I get from being a ranger anyway, so I just chose 2 other ones.
Yeah.
And I got Iruxi Lore training, so I got trained in 3 skills. I chose Religion, which I used for the ritual, and I also chose Arcana.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna be a little bit cryptic as to why, but
Definitely
was-
has nothing to do with the wings.
it's for a very specific
Or
reason.
dragons.
Very specific reason. And then my skill increase, I am going to stick with survival. We had talked about this off stream a little bit, but I want to keep specializing. Skill feats be damned, the master ones. It was between athletics and survival, and the skill feats for both suck. So keep specializing, keep doing what I do well.
Plain or
Keep
survival.
doing what I do well, and go to survival mastery. So I mean, like I got plus 22 on some of these skills, man. I'm insane right now.
It's pretty beefy. Twinkle Toes, you want to go next?
Sure. So, first of all, I'm now harder to kill as I have the Die Hard feat.
Nice.
Don't want to follow in my best friend's footsteps, so except for that awesome resurrection, that was lit. I also have something called continuous flare. So basically, if during exploration mode I do anything that would in combat grant me panache, I get a +1 circumstance bonus to further checks for actions that would grant me panache in combat, but in encounter mode until we shift into a different game, basically. So if I wanted to make a bunch of performance checks or acrobatics checks in exploration mode, I would get a +1 circumstance bonus.
So wait, you
stacks or not? But
you make checks in exploration mode, and then if we enter in like an encounter in that same scenario, then you get a bonus to those checks in encounter mode.
I don't know.
What's the feat called?
I'm not sure. It's a feature. It's called
no.
continuous flare.
Oh.
And aside from that, I also am now a master in perception
Sick.
and
Welcome to the club.
That's
Thank you.
huge.
and an expert in stealth. So I'm a better vigilante, Zorro, Batman, girl.
Is that it?
That's all.
That's great. Oski.
So 11 levels, pretty cool for the champion. I'm an expert now in perception. First of all, I got the alertness class feature, which is fun. So I'm an expert. I also have divine will, so I am now a master in both fortitude and will saves. So if, the equivalent of evasion for both of those, which is good. The general feat I took was untrained improvisation.
Yes!
So I've now got that sweet level boost to all untrained skills. It's just such a good general feat, especially after 7th level. Oh my god, it's so good. For example, my performance skill, which I'm not trained in, went from a previously it was at a +4, which is not bad, but now it's a +15. So it's a big difference. Yeah. I decided to be an expert in religion after a last-minute switch from athletics. And then the coolest thing has to do with my champion's reaction. I got this ability called Exalt, which actually it'll be even better now that Bastro's sticking around, because this is way more useful for Bastro than your backup character that I heard about, Dan. Exalt means I can protect multiple allies with my champion's reaction.
Nice.
So I apply the resistance granted by Glimpse of Redemption to myself and any ally within 15 feet of me whenever I trigger it. It's a little weaker for everyone if I do it this way, but I mean, if like Bastro, Twinkletoes, and Oski are all within 15 feet of each other, that's a resistance. What would it currently be? Like if we all get hit by a fireball, that'd be a resistance 11 to all three of us.
Which is
Oh my god.
that's 33 damage resist.
Yeah. So for AoE spells, it's fantastic.
Incredible.
Yeah. And then my lay on hands went up because I went up a spell level. So that's a little more potent. But yeah, that's my level up.
It's a bit more handsy.
A bit more handsy.
Did we give you enough time, Dan? Did you figure it
Yeah.
out?
Yes. So 11th level is pretty good. I get 6th level spells. Those will remain a secret until I decide which spells I want to pick.
Sixth level spells though. Oh my god.
Yeah, pretty big. It's gonna be very interesting.
What?
Does that mean that you only have access to 5th and 6th level spells now?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
But thanks to a few Magus class
For the
features,
ring.
at 11th level I also get access to 3rd level spells. So I have 2nd level spells, 3rd level spells, and then 5th level spells and 6th level spells. Just no 4th level for some reason.
Well, you'll also have additional. I don't want to speak for the party, but there's a Ring of Wizardry Type 2 just floating on the loot sheet. So
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Kashak's
bad.
really thinking about making a claim for that, though.
I will fight you. Anyways,
you can always take a wizard
yeah?
dedication.
Yeah, Kashak.
Kashak's
we're,
8
we're,
intelligence.
we're,
really
we're
interesting
resurrecting
control.
Kashak next.
He's saving it for his 12th level sorcerer dedication.
Exactly.
the general feat Bastro is picking is incredible investiture.
Nice.
So now I get to invest.
What is that one?
When you invest magic items, you can only invest up to 10 items. But with this feat, you get up to 12 items per turn.
Were you stressed about investing items?
Yeah, I'm already at like 4 right
it
now,
actually
4 or
does.
5.
It
Wait,
does
really?
not make a difference
Really?
until it really makes a difference because
Yeah.
there are a lot of magic items that you just kind of collect around the 10 to 15 range, which is where like external magic items like non-weapons and armor really start popping up.
Because you don't invest weapons, but you do invest armor, right?
No, you only invest if it has the invest trait.
Yes.
That's what
Weapons and armor don't have that.
Correct.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But like the ring
You
would
start
have it.
you start picking them up really quickly.
Yeah, like
yeah.
the 3 I have right now is like the ring of discretion. I have 2 rings, and I have 3 rings. They're all rings. So I have 3 magic rings that are all invested.
Tom Bradying on us.
Yeah,
I
guess
do
so,
like
yeah.
that more than in Pathfinder First Edition where you only had 2 ring slots. It's like I clearly have more than 2 figures.
More than 2 figures.
But it's like
Well,
you can
yeah.
only actually physically handle so much magic from items. Like that
Well,
makes
then
a
you
lot
run
more sense.
First edition has like the World of Warcraft problem where you have like these 2 god tier rings and like your cloak is garbage, and then you get a god tier ring, and you're like, okay, I guess I just like don't get to use this because I have 2 rings already. But like with this, it's like, oh, my cloak is garbage. Let me stop investing this cloak and then just start using this 3rd ring. It's a cool system.
And then I get medium armor expertise, which is huge. My AC
Huge.
goes up by like 3 now.
What do you got?
31 now.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I think you guys are keeping up to par with your non-AC builds. AC.
And then I'm increasing deception to expert because why not have an extra boost to feints?
Why not
Well, that's
better
really good
fake-
for your. That's really good for your feint, though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's not just because it's like actually pretty good for you. Wonderful. So you all wake up fully rested, full spell slots, fully 11th level. Erkanesh is gone. Seems to have woken up before you all. The sleeping bag that they had half awakenly snuggled into once Twinkletoes threw it on them is neatly wrapped and tucked into the sausage roll with the elastic going over it and placed in a corner. There's just like a business card for the Historia Reliquary sitting on top of it. The afternoon / evening is yours. I will remind you of a couple of things. You are in search of a deadly, dangerous clockwork alchemical device. You currently have a note, or I should say, your evidence has led you to a name of Franca Lorenz, who is apparently the one who managed to swipe it before you all did. Now, a lot of this campaign has been very direct. I urge you all to explore options. You have a name. You need to figure out what to do with that name. That's where I will leave it for you.
Yeah. Gotcha.
What would you all like to do?
Yeah, I feel like we should be like baking Erica a cake. What do you think?
I think that would be wise. If I had any energy, I would do that right now. But I still feel rather out of it.
You just slept for 10 hours. You're still tired? You didn't even join me for morning yoga before we went to sleep.
I love morning yoga, but I feel like I was hit by a freight train riding a dragon that was meteoring to Absalom.
Okay, we'll save the
I've been there, buddy.
Um, did we already sell all of that stuff?
Well, actually, I'm sure that you want the spell book, Bastro, or at least to look at it before.
I
doing
would
anything
love
with it.
that spell book, and I heard someone mention a ring of some kind.
Oh yeah, that one that Spider Girl gave to you.
Yes, the one that belongs to me. Yes.
That would still be on your person. I don't imagine we would be taking that from you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
But did you guys
on your finger?
know?
Yeah.
You guys know what it is?
The Ring of Wizardry level 2.
Yeah,
I think it's worth like 1,000 gold or something. So like, good.
We could sell it for 500 gold, but if you can make use of it,
my fiance gave me this. I don't think we're gonna selling this.
we're gonna pawn your engagement ring because you died.
I mean, it's your
There's also
consolation
that-
prize for not fully dying permanently.
There's also that chained leathered vest. If you want to take a closer look at that, we were having some trouble with it.
Oh, we still haven't identified that. Let me do that.
We have, but you know, it was rough. You could probably learn more.
Okay, what am I rolling?
I think saying it was rough when you identified it is a little much. Like, you identified it.
Oh, I thought you were being cagey about it. Okay.
Oh, so we did. All right.
No, I mean, it's +1 leather vest. 2 action interact.
It does the thing.
Never mind.
Is that better than your current armor, Bastro?
Leather? I don't wear leather. What do you mean?
Oh. You don't?
No, medium armor.
I mean,
What's your dex?
The dex is like 1, 12. I'm not a Dexy character. I figured either like you or Twinkle Toes would take that.
well, I feel like the chains would make me a bit less quiet, and I think I'm a bit too dexterous for this. You know, like.
I would actually lose AC using this.
Yeah. Same.
Right. I mean, might as well just sell
I'm
it.
not touching it.
Yeah.
We should have sold this instead of the thing. No, we wouldn't have gotten the money. Let's sell it.
Instead of that
Real
wand
quick.
of manifold missiles.
Oh no! I'll give you 350 gold for your chain leather vest, man. Let me just kill that guy. I don't know. Let's sell it. Screw it. I don't care.
I will figure out what the price is. It's got to have a price, but it just
We sell it.
it's a
Yeah.
it's a campaign specific thing, and it just doesn't list a price. So,
That's weird. Okay.
yeah, I don't know, man. I'll figure it out and let you guys know.
So all of the money from Gage Carlisle, the +1 striking dagger, the +1 leather armor, and the wand of manifold missiles went into the ritual. So we're keeping the ring of wizardry, and then everybody got that stuff. So we don't have a whole lot of stuff to sell currently. We don't have a lot of money. But I mean, it's 6 p.m. like right now. Do you guys want to say like we have a party to celebrate Bastro's revival?
Oh yeah.
Yes, we gotta have some drinks. Tipsy Tengu.
Go to the Tisby Tengu.
Tipsy Tango. I'm buying 17 gold.
I'm buying. I don't have any gold.
I knew there was a reason I didn't delete this map.
Wait, so how much gold did we have left over? So is it
We sold for 881,
and it cost 850?
875.
875, so we have 6 gold left over.
For easier bookkeeping, I'm cool tipping Eric Kanesh and just saying it's all a wash, but
I'm just trying to figure out whether I still have that 73 gold or not.
you do. You do.
Yeah, we didn't spend any of our personal.
We didn't spend any personal money, and that was good. That was preferred. So yeah, don't change any gold in your character sheet at all.
Oh, I forgot to take filter off of this.
He's alive again! Yay!
Yes,
You all walk in
I
and
live.
oh god, Belbury, that's her name. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Belbury says, "Oh, how are you doing now? It's been such a long time since I've seen you."
Oh my goodness, it's been a
Wait.
wild weekend. Bastro died, but he's alive again now.
Are we supposed to see something? I don't see anything.
You don't see anything?
You don't see a map? The map of the
I see a dark outline of a map.
Does anyone else
That seems like
see
you
I see it.
problem.
I see it.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Scream
Cool.
sees it.
Yeah, Ben, get it together, I guess.
Refresh.
We pay you
Hit
to
that.
not have issues.
Hit that refresh button, my man.
Oh.
You're not missing much. It's the map of the Tipsy Tank. We've been in a bunch of times.
Here's the hard-hitting
still
lore question for those of you who have been around for a while. Has Belbury
Still-
seen New Bastro?
No.
No.
I probably not at this point.
Has Belbury met Kashak?
Yes.
When?
Whatever the last time I used this map where I didn't change anything and you were already here.
Fair enough.
Certain Belbury has met New Bastro because we met up with Isabella here.
Oh wait, no, yeah, because I did the same thing. New Bastro was already here, so like you must have met. Yeah.
Is it a different token? Yeah, then yeah.
Yeah. I believe.
Sheether's just over here. Sitting by the fire. These dudes.
Yeah. When was
No,
the...
that's a different giant lizard. That's not she.
Will,
Okay,
is
that's
is
that guy's
those two
manly.
possibly an NPC token right now? Is that what's going on?
This might have been. No, that should be you.
Yeah, I think we were meeting Isabella here before something. I remember that pretty specifically.
Yeah, I mean, I did delete the Isabella token. You're definitely meeting Isabella. Doesn't matter. She just says, "Oh, my gods, Bastro, you nearly died, or you did die."
Oh, he did die.
No, they told me I did die. You know,
he died.
And-
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
we
they,
had to
they were
pay,
just
like,
a little
ton of money.
little
Like,
drunk
how'd you-
between you and me.
I mean, how'd you get back if you died?
Oh, that's trade secrets, Belbury. You don't get to know.
Lots of money and diamonds, and then some strong shit.
Let me tell you.
Woke up.
Let me tell you. You know the right people in this town, and you can get pretty much anything you want. You got enough money. You got the right connections. You get whatever
Cheers
you
to
want.
that, friend. And Basra, I'm glad you're still here. And she just throws down this one for you on the house.
Yeah.
And she just gets around for everybody at the bar. Is there anything you will do, or are you just partying, making your merry way into the night?
Oski. A word, please.
Just celebrating Bastro not being dead. And you know, I cried a lot the past 2 days, so just trying to, you know,
You got to rehydrate, love. I understand.
Exactly. So I need to do that with some heavy ale. Let's go.
Oh, I've got just the thing for you. She goes back and pulls out a pony keg that is yet to be tapped. And she's a gnome. She's struggling with the pony keg. So one of the human barmaids comes over. She's here, come, Belbury, come on. And she's, no, I told you. Nobody touches this one but me. She like wrestles it over. She pulls out a hammer and a tap and just slap, an explosion of this dark, brown, like sweet smelling ale just erupts across her face and like the side of the bar. And she says, it's the good stuff. She pours just the most beautiful amber ale you have ever seen in your life for you. Sets it down. She says, this one, right here, been saving on for a special occasion. Comes all the way from Kionan, if you believe it.
Ooh.
So I can't do a keg stand? Can I do a keg stand?
Oh, you can do a kickstand, but I charge by the second.
That's fine.
But I'll
do
give you the first 3 for free.
My God.
It's 875 gold pieces of diamond dust per second.
You wouldn't believe the people I could have resurrected instead of buying this.
I just spent my last 875 gold of diamond dust.
Yeah, go ahead.
Very quickly, Kashak just pulls Oski aside, and he gets kind of serious for a second. He's, Oski, I have two very important things I want to discuss with you. Firstly, I want to apologize. I've received some confusing information recently, and it's colored the way that I've been treating you and others, but mostly you. Where I come from, someone with a condition like yours, and he kind of looks at the tattoos most specifically, would be cast out and treated as other. I mean, hell, I feel an immense shame just for having to wear this little token on my chest. What I'm trying to say is that I was wrong. And I don't think any less of you as a person, or as a man, or an orc, or a friend. And I want to try to rebuild this bridge between us.
Oski has this strangely jubilant response to this, and will like slap his arm on Kashak's shoulder, and very much in like a, hey, let's celebrate kind of way. And just says, Kashak, I welcome your apology and accept it gleefully. But I must say that you have nothing to worry about, my friend. We are of one kin. And he'll point at the engraving on your armor that he did, and just say, we are of the same. But for tonight, let's just for a moment give in to our hunger and celebrate. And for just a second, when you hear Oski say that, you think maybe you see the tattoos begin to move. But you don't know if that's maybe your just apprehension or something. But like for just a second, it's like a trick of the light or something, they move. And Oski's being very positive about this, which he's never done before. He says, let's give in to our hunger.
Yeah.
And celebrate.
Well, that actually brings me to my second topic that I wanted to discuss with just you. I haven't ever drank before. I don't know how to do it, and I don't know what to order, and it's very stressful. There's so many options at the bar, and everybody seems to always know what they want to get, and I don't know what I want, so I don't know. What should I order?
All right, well, if you're just starting out, here's what I would recommend, all right? Now, this was, as a fellow from... I should know this. The whole continent is called Garund, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Just go up to the bar and order a Holamog Island iced tea. There's no chance that it knocks you on your ass. At all. They'll know what it is. They'll know what it means. I promise you. It's the best thing you'll drink all night. You have 3 of them, you'll be set.
All right, Holamog Island iced tea. It's a great island that I've definitely heard of, but I haven't been myself, so...
Well, sure. See, that's the funny thing, is it's not an island, but since people haven't heard of it, they don't know that, so it's funny. You get the joke.
Oh, I do get the joke, and his lie has been exposed. He was going to try to pass it up like he's heard of it before. Oh, yeah, I've heard that it's not real at all, for sure. That's good. I'll order one of those. And so we go back to the bar, and we inevitably see Twinkletoes doing a keg stand on this Keonan Elvish craft beer.
Bachelor's going, go.
It's an amber ale. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I rolled that I did the keg stand for 9 seconds, and then a 30 Constitution save. I'm now 4 out of 10 drunk, and I got a natural 20 on my acrobatics check to dismount for a 41. So I also have some continuous flare going.
Oh, and the whole bar knows that you're
Yeah,
high.
I mean, you do this keg stand, and like 6 or 7 of the people at the tables behind the bar start like, ribbing each other, like pointing. You hear whispers, and then you keep going. You get to like 9 seconds, and I mean, you have a small body, and this thing has been freshly tapped. It is a lot of liquid to consume for somebody of your stature. So people are like, oh my god, like she's gonna die. And then you do a triple backflip on the dismount, landing on the bar like with one foot on your tippy toes, the other one pointed out, with your arms up, and you're twirling at the same time. Somehow you land and you're just twirling already.
There are scarves flowing. You don't know where
Exactly.
they came from.
And you just get like an eruption of applause. And as you come to a stop, you get a little woozy, because it is strong stuff. This is like 11% ABV. It's it'll get you. But you managed to force it down for now. But as you look out, the rest of you all see that she just has like glitter, like sparkles, just running across her face, like a literally in real life Instagram filter, just like sparkles of flashes of different color, kind of like at the rosy cheeks where you would normally see people starting to show drunk color. It's just sparkles and glitter that are emanating from her.
Oh my god. Belbury, can I get a growler of this to go?
Oh, you sure can, sweetheart.
Twinkletoes, you're absolutely glowing.
Why, thank you. I think you mean I am twinkling. Thank you.
Indeed. Oski,
As on my toes.
I may have to get a
Do
draft
it.
of this instead of the Island Iced Tea.
Don't worry, Hulamog waits for everyone.
I'm sorry. Oski, did you say you wanted a Holomog iced tea?
Yes, please, yes.
Are you sure, sweetheart?
Huh?
I've never been more sure of anything in my life.
Oh, my love, I'll make it for you. I'm just worried
Yes.
about the effects afterwards.
It's my home. That's where I'm from.
Okay, that's what they all say. And she
Get on.
turns back to the bar, and she just pulls a step ladder out from under it, goes up to the top shelf, opens the drawers, and grabs 4 bottles. It's like so fancy they don't even have labels. It's just design, like fancy paper that is wrapped the bottle. She pulls 4 bottles down. She steps down. She gives you another look. Last chance, my love.
You
sure
make
you
it
want
2. Make it 2. One for me, one for my friend here.
All right. Alyssa, would you mind? One of the barmaids comes over with 2 pieces of parchment. It is a waiver. And puts 2 pens in front of you. If you
Koski,
just sign there, please.
Oski, I've never seen somebody sign a document to order a drink at a bar before. Are you sure about this?
Oski's already signed and
Hey,
says
go for
Kashuk. Look, as a great philosopher once said, you only live once. So let's say, unless you're Bastro, then you live twice. But we don't need to get into that right now.
I've read that philosopher's work. He was very specific. Kashak can't write, so he just draws a picture of a lizard.
Oh, no, here. She pulls out like an ink pad. Just put your fingerprint there for me.
He takes out his finger and puts it on the pad.
Oski?
Oski does the same.
Very good. Thank you, boys. Now, due to a recent local ordinance, I can't serve the whole thing in one glass. You have to take it in 4 individual shots. Reason being that the Holomok has a tendency to put people under. So if people have a chance to tap out before they finish the whole drink, well, it's a bit safer on the folk. Now, and you watch as...
I can take it.
You're just watching as she's speaking to you, as you were signing it, she's just pouring ungodly amounts, and you're now smelling it, and it's just like straight gasoline. I mean, it is just pure ethanol, like light it on fire with a match kind of nonsense.
That's awesome.
And then you just see like 3 cherries go in the shaker right before she cups it and starts shaking. Alyssa, just 8 shot glasses for me, please. And then she does that perfect bartender pour where she like cracks the shaker and goes down the line with a perfect pour on every shot glass.
Oh my god.
That's so cool.
Just like hits it, unclasps them, and tosses them over her shoulder into the sink. And then she separates the 4 to each. Says, now, I want to be very explicit about this. I understand you want the praise and recognition that will come from finishing a Holamog iced tea. But you got to think to yourself, is it worth it? Or are you just posing for your friends here?
I never pose when a seat at Masluta's table is on the line.
Then
Let's
take
do
your
this.
first drink, Oski.
He slams it.
Roll me a fortitude save.
All right. Jesus Christ! My hero putting the first roll. Yeah, I can't start bad. I can't start bad. Hero point already.
Use them if you got them.
Out of the box.
Of course.
Okay. All right. 32.
32. It hits the back of your throat just like fire, but you're able to sink it. You just feel the flames erupt in your mouth. Maybe you had like a little bruise or a cut from your previous fight on the inside of your mouth, and it just lights up as the alcohol goes down. You manage to just push it down, but you get it. First shot done. She says, all right, you got to count to 5. Keep it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a good boy, Oski. I knew you could do it. Well, I hoped you could do it. I mean, I did have you sign the waiver.
Her accent is just slowly drifting.
Look, I've had a few myself. This is my 4th Holamog tonight.
Jesus Christ.
When she tapped the keg, she just like opened her mouth and let it all just like,
All right, Kashuk, it's your turn.
He tentatively, between 2 claws, picks up the shot glass, and he just like very slowly drains it on his lips, and he's got this a long snoot, and it just like
it's gonna run all the way down, yeah,
all the way down his tongue and into his throat.
He'll learn to get the side eventually. Go ahead and roll me a fortitude save.
That is a 39 on the fortitude save.
Unlike Oski, though, you wouldn't know the comparison. You slam it, and it's just like tastes a little bit bitter, a little bit. I mean, you get a hint of cherry, but you're like, yeah, maybe they could have had more cherry. I don't know, maybe 4 would have done it. But yeah, it feels fine. It hits your gut, and then you feel like the gurgles start once it actually gets down. But it quickly subsides, and you're more or less unaffected.
Oski, this tastes exactly like marsh bog.
Well, that's where they get it from.
They used to serve.
Inventor.
Yeah.
The inventor took a cup of marshbog from Holamog Isles, carried it all the way to Absalom with himself.
We used to have marsh bog at special events and occasions in my tribe, but we always just thought it was kind of fun.
Oh, it'll get more fun, trust me. Both of you, second drinks, bottom up.
Another 39.
Nat 20. Nat 20 for a 42.
Right.
We both crit.
And at this point, the whole crowd that has been that had been admiring Twinkletoes, like now that her performance is kind of not over, but now that she's focusing on you, they all begin focusing on you. And you feel the press of bodies as they begin to surround you at the bar. And you take the second drink, and both of you just stiff, like pats on the shoulder. Like, there you go, good job, keep it down. As people just begin to crowd and press in and try to see. Everybody heard Holamog Island iced tea, and they're like, oh, it's about to go down. You both keep it together. The second shot. But this time it wasn't a critical success from Kashak. While the first one was, the second one, it's beginning to bubble. Still a success.
Well, hang on. If it was a success, it's a critical success.
It is a critical success. Somehow with that, you know, you feel like you did exactly the same, but it feels a little bit worse, but you feel fine. I don't know how that works.
We'll sort it out.
The DC is increasing, is what I was trying to say in narrative speak.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess your rules things are cool. I guess. Oski though, this one goes down like water. All right. After the initial shock, your mouth is kind of numb. Maybe you like stopped. You didn't take that faded inhale through your nose before taking the drink. You managed to keep it down. It goes down nice and smooth. Third one. Very good, boys. Very good. All right. Now you got to do the third before we're on to the fourth, and you're done.
Hey, good roll still.
I've got a 32 for you.
I've got a 35.
35. 32. Kashak, roll me a reflex save.
Uh-oh. 36.
36. So where the second one went down like smooth as butter, the third one hits the back of your mouth, and you just feel the involuntary gag as liquid begins to come up. But you're able to clench the last second and force it back down. You keep it together.
You critically forced my vomit back into my stomach.
You keep it together, but only just barely.
Okay.
Some of the guys that had been crowding around you kind of like step away. They're like, oh, is he? Hey, he did it. Good job, mate. Good job, mate. Oski, it's tough. All right, this one was a bit of a battle, but you got there. Third and final, and I'm gonna let you know right now. DC 38 Fortitude.
Oh, that's not a gimme. Wow, that's not a gimme.
Wait, the last shot's a DC 38. Oh man, I need a cracked roll on this.
You guys are at level now.
And Oski will say, Kashuk, you want to know why it's 4?
Why's that, Oski?
The first shot is for home, that is Holamog. The second one is for Anuli, the capital. The third one's for the temple that worships the goddess. And the last one gives you a seat at... last one gives you a seat at the table. So let's get a seat at that table, Kashuk.
Kashak turns around to the bar and says, "A seat at the table!
A seat at the table!" Whole bar just erupts. Go ahead and roll it for me, boys.
I have to hear a point.
Use them if you got them.
What'd you get, Oski?
I failed. I got a 30.
No.
I had a natural 18
Oh!
for a 38.
So simultaneously, you throw back the shots, the entire bar chanting, "Table, table, table, table." You throw it back, everybody cheers, and there's just like a split second where everybody's waiting for something to happen. Oski goes face down into the bar as Kashak rises up in triumph, arms over his head. And the bar erupts as just a little bit of drool and spittle just emanates onto the table from Oski's unconscious mouth.
I have something to say. I got something. And he climbs the bar with no effort and stands on there. This fine orc here, sleeping next to me, he yesterday, not but today, but yesterday, he made the sacrifice to bring a friend of ours back from death. Death! And he's The only reason he may not have done what he said he would do with this fourth shot for the seat of the table is because of his great sacrifice. He's exhausted. I hereby deliver my seat at Masluta's table to Oski. And then Kashak takes the fourth shot glass and like places it on Oski's head as he's sleeping.
I love it. The entire rest of the night, while Oski just sleeps at the bar, Kashak, Twinkletoes, and Bastro have free drinks from the rest of the bar. Twinkletoes and Kashak, you are continuously hounded by this story of what happened to Bastro. Bastro, you are just adored by the people in the bar for the heroics that you displayed in the fight, for dying and coming back to life.
It was all me.
But during this time, Bastro, at some point, you blink, and standing before you, in a black room, is a woman with blue hair and 6 angelic wings. And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight.
Stop it!
Whoa!
Kashak, Oski, and Twinkletoes, all 3 of you start with an additional hero point next session.
Let's go.
Good
We did it.
That was such a cool bar scene. Loved it. Also, really big props to you guys for stepping up, for me just throwing that resurrection at you. And you guys took it.
It was a blast.
That was amazing.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for resurrecting
You all
me.
did so
You're
well
welcome,
that you
buddy.
actually convinced Daniel, the player, to not take his backup character
I was
and
gonna
to
run
keep
with
playing
this,
Bastro.
with this new backup character, but y'all pulled me back into the Bastro flow.
It's
got
fine. You'll
You
take a
got
bullet to the head
You
and
did
die
it.
in the next combat. So.
In real life, and you guys will get it.
Jesus
Thank you
Christ.
all so much for joining us. We'll be back here next week to see what happens with the Heroes of Absalom. Thank you so much. Have a great week, and we'll see
Thanks,
you
everybody.
next time.